Everybody, this is Matt Roberts, RecruitBoss, here to talk to you about recruiting and one issue that has come up. I don't record a lot of these, but I'm trying to get back into doing some more of them for you. This one here is annoying the living hell out of me. Now, we all know that year after year, I've been doing recruiting for 15 years nearly, and year after year, the coaches go for younger and younger kids. You know, it was just going after seniors into their senior year. Now they're touching with juniors, and sometimes we go for juniors before. Then it became sophomores. Now we've crossed over to the level of absurd and ridiculous. Look, I understand college coaches need to be competitive. I understand you got to be first. And a few years ago, we had a dipped a toe into the water of ridiculous, and that was when USC offered a 13-year-old kid a scholarship, full ride to college. Now, you may say, how can they offer a scholarship to a kid on a full ride when the kid is only 13 and not defined a quote-unquote student athlete yet? Don't they fall under the same rules? The answer to that question is no, they don't. I called the NCAA and I said, how in the hell is it even possible for a school to offer a kid a full ride scholarship when they're 13 years old? NCAA said very clearly to me, the student is not a student athlete until they set foot into the first class of their freshman year. So they don't fall under the jurisdiction and the rules of the NCAA. I said, well, how can they offer them a deal if they don't fall under the rules? He says, well, they're only offering them a verbal commitment. Yeah, verbal commitments bug the hell out of me on top of everything else because nothing's set in stone. And they said, quote, from the NCAA, they said, quote, the NCAA does not recognize verbal commitments. That's their quote. The NCAA does not recognize verbal commitments, which means they're not legal and binding. Well, we all know this. Unless it's signed with a letter of intent, it's not legal and binding. So these kids are getting offered deals. This one 13-year-old was offered a deal from USC. He has stars in his eyes. He's a big USC fan. So what kid and what parents are going to say, no, that's good. We don't want my kid's future secure. We don't want to have the opportunity to have a full scholarship to go to college. Interestingly enough, Pete Carroll was fired or left or whatever it was shortly thereafter. So USC doesn't have to recognize the verbal offer. And there you go. The kid's got his years to go through school and get another offer, but the fact of the matter is the NCAA doesn't have to recognize that. They shouldn't do it in the first place because it's ridiculous. You have 1,098,000 kids, freshmen through senior year, who play football at one given season, at one time. You mean you can't find an athlete of the 1,098,000 kids nationwide that can play football for your school, that you have to get a kid at 13? Well, I thought that was bad enough. Let's step forward maybe a month ago. University of Hawaii offered a kid a full ride. He's 11. He's freaking 11 years old. Now, okay, the kid's on Hawaii, so what are his options? He lives in Hawaii, and the University of Hawaii is the school that's giving him a deal. But what has he done? He hasn't even gone through freaking puberty yet, man. He hasn't done a thing. The muscles haven't really started to form. But they're basing it off of what they think he could be. Is this Minority Report now, where you see crimes before they happen? You kind of know, we know he's going to be good just by looking at him. Well, let's go further into the absurd, which prompted me to record this. Now, I wanted to record one before for the 11-year-old, but this one takes the cake. Today, I read online, Florida Atlantic has a new coach, and they offered a kid a full-ride scholarship. How old is this kid? 9. He's freaking 9 years old. I mean, what's next? Are they going to go to the two parents who have good DNA, who are both athletes? And are they going to offer those parents their unborn kid a scholarship because of the chance they might have strong DNA. I mean, the NCAA has no restrictions on offering of verbals, and the rules don't apply to the kids because they're not student athletes, quote unquote. So what's to stop the school from offering it prenatal? A prenatal full ride scholarship. That's next. Your colleges will offer a scholarship to a kid before they're even conceived, man. You have a chance of having a kid. Hey, you know what? If you guys have sex and have a kid, that kid's born, we're going to offer that kid a full ride scholarship. Now look, if the kid's being offered a deal before they're born, that's going to cause a lot of problems with those people who don't recognize an unborn child as a life. Let's just put that out there. I'm just saying. There's those who don't. But the fact of the matter is the schools are getting ridiculous. Coaches, you're getting ridiculous, guys. I mean, pull back on the reins a little bit. Use your brain. You're going to offer a 9-year-old kid based on what? And then one of the reasons they gave this kid the deal is because of the kid's father has athletic ability. There you go. DNA, guys. Right away, the kid's going to get a deal. They're not even going to watch him play on the field. They don't even know how good their grades are going to be. What if the grades suck? Grades are number one. But what you're doing by offering kids a deal just based on the theory of athletic ability, the theory of it, that you're saying athletics is far more important than academics in every facet. It's ridiculous, coaches. You guys need to chill out, because what you're going to do is you're going to put false impressions into the minds of these kids and these parents who need to get deals and need to save money, and colleges are expensive, student loans are huge, everybody wants that offer, and you're going to give it to them based on what you think might happen, but you don't have to honor it. That's the worst part. The coaches don't have to honor it. Yeah, the kid can decommit too. It can do that too. But how likely is a kid to decommit when they already have a deal signed up? They're not very likely. I've had many an argument with parents and athletic directors saying, look, when you have a verbal commitment to a school, it's not set in stone. And they say, no, you have to honor that because it's your word. No, coaches will bail out on that in 2 seconds. I've had it happen too many times on my kids. Most of the time they'll honor it. But I've seen it happen with kids who have come to me in a panic and parents and say, what do I do now? I don't have a deal. The coach has left or the coach has got fired and they don't have to honor the deal. Now what? Don't fall for the trap, folks. If a coach comes to you and offers you a full ride, your kid's not even playing or your kid's too young or hasn't developed yet, based on what? What they think's going to happen? Their minority report scholarships? Think twice, because they're luring you into a trap where they have the advantage. And coaches, you need to relax. All right. This is RecruitBoss, impromptu video, giving you some input. Contact me, RecruitBoss@ProDynamics.com. Look out for me on Twitter, @RecruitBoss. Hit me with some questions. I'd like to hear your feedback. Look in the comments below for some more information. That's what I got to say. All right. Until that time, this is RecruitBoss. Know your goal.